Come on, you bastard. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris's Custom Collectables. Today, we are going to be pimping out the Mattel Colossal T-Rex from Jurassic World, The Fallen Kingdom. This guy is huge. I first discovered that this was available in Australia right before I left to fly here to the States. I found him on Amazon Prime for $55 US, which quite frankly is a bargain considering back home he's 120 Australian dollars. So the interesting thing about today's episode is we're gonna try and pimp this guy out on the basic, on the cheap, because you gotta think about it, I don't have my workshop. My workshop is back home in Sydney, so we're gonna try and do this with the most minimal method possible. I'm gonna try and do everything by hand. I still am umming and ahhing about doing some airbrushing work, but we're gonna cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, I just wanna put it out there that you guys have to realize that pretty much every T-Rex is different in terms of patterning and skin color and scale color. So what I'm gonna be doing is pretty much just a hybrid, a mashup, try and make him look as gnarly as possible, but as natural as possible. I've never done reptilian skin before. The skin is very much like the Predator. It has that organic, natural look to it with dots all over it. So that's what I'm gonna try and be doing on the cheap. Now, if you guys are looking at this leg here and wondering why it looks different to everywhere else, well, that is because I sort of got a head start just to get a method down pat on how to get the basic paint scheme happening. So after about a day of trial and error, I'm very happy with the base coat I've got here. So I'm gonna talk you guys through the step-by-step process of how we achieve this look, and then we're gonna continue that throughout the rest of the body. So our first step before we do any painting, anything like that, is we have to file down these teeth, because at the moment, they're a bit too chunky, a bit too stuck together, so I actually want to cut in to the sections between the teeth to make them look a bit more jagged, and then when we get to the painting process, I'm going to be showing you guys how we're going to be staining them, especially at the tops of the teeth. So the leg that I did the experimentation on actually pops off with ease. No, it doesn't. Come on, you bastard. Oh, the tail comes off, that's good. What the hell?
Do you need an adult?
Yeah! This is the whole video, it's just gonna be me getting this leg off. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Good night. Okay, so the leg is gonna have to stay put, but when I did receive him, the leg was separate on this side here. You lock him in place. The tail was also separate and it locks in like so. So the method to achieve this look before we move forward to, I'm probably guessing, some light airbrushing and some hand detailing with spots and whatnot, I managed to find some shoe polish for 99 cents at the 99-cent store here in Los Angeles, which is just absolutely phenomenal on my part because you know how much I love my shoe polish. Now, I did manage to find the Kiwi brand shoe polish at Ralph's, which was $10 US, which is just crazy. You don't want to pay that much for shoe polish. So what I have here are the cheapest shoe polishes. So we're going to start off with a wash of brown. We're then going to follow it up with a wash of black. I then have some white shoe polish. This is a first for a Cosplay Chris Custom Collectible. We have never used white shoe polish before, so this is kind of going to dull down the brown and black wash, bring it back a couple of notches. We're then going to go in with some green acrylic paint and dry brush that over the entire surface. It kind of gives a look like the T-Rex is covered in moss in some areas. I am then going to be using the Kiwi shoe polish for certain parts of the body, most notably some really heavy looking scales. The Kiwi brand seems to give it a better finish overall. Then once that's dried, we're going to get some brown acrylic paint and then dry brush that over the entire body. I have no idea what we're going to be doing after that. Like I said, I'm going to cross that bridge when we come to it. First things first, we're going to sharpen those teeth with a combination of a razor and a nail file. Guys, I'm really excited about this, especially the reveal. We've got a very special treat for you guys in terms of revealing this bad boy when he's all done. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so as mentioned, we've got a first coating of brown shoe polish. So I'm going to be doing this in sections. So we're going to be using the already installed sponge on this, and we're just going to be going over the skin like so. We're going to try and blend together the white belly and the rest of the body. Now, I'm going to be wiping away the excess, and I will be doing this in sections as it's quite a bit hotter here at the moment here in LA, and I don't want this drying on me and not having it look organic and uniform and not matching up with the rest of the body. Now before I start dry brushing the brown acrylic over the entire body of this bad boy, I'm actually going to go back in along the belly here and just do some more white highlighting, because I do want a stark difference between a much lighter colored belly all the way down to the tail, having a lot more darker detail on the rest of the body as opposed to the belly. And I also am going to be going into these areas here and scarring these up, because these are actually scars here from what I can see. Make them look like scar tissue, as well as this area here. It's amazing what some layers of shoe polish and some dry brushing of acrylic paint can do to this beautiful detail on this figure. Now I am very happy with what I've discovered right here, geeks, and it was not intentional. So the Kiwi shoe polish is acting for a highlighter for all the areas around the eye here, and it's also going to act as a highlight to make the stripes on his back. So this completely avoids using an airbrush, which is what I wanted. I wanted to show you guys that you can do this stuff totally by hand. So look at the shading, the subtle shading on the nose area there, back around the eye. So I'm going to be following my own type of pattern, but mostly around edges like this with hard scales. I then will be going in very slightly with the brown acrylic here, back over the nubs of the scales here. This is actually turning out a lot better than I had anticipated, geeks. So once I'm happy detailing the entire body, I'm going to go in and start to probably do some follow-up details in the mouth, the teeth, and also the fingernails. Now, if you guys are wondering how we're going to be pimping out the eyes, it's a very, very simple process. Our first step, we're going to get some orange acrylic paint on a very fine brush, and then we're just going to go over the entire eye. I know at this stage it doesn't look exactly right, but stay with me. It's a very, very simple process and effective at that. Next up, we're just going to grab a Q-tip and then smoosh the inside part, just surrounding it as well. And there you go. This method gives a lot more depth to the eyes and also gives that kind of veiny appearance, because looking at T-Rex eyes, there is a mixture of yellow and orange in there. Alright geeks, so the last steps in completing this custom collectible is we're going to get some talcum powder, just run-of-the-mill talcum powder, and brush it all over the entire body of the T-Rex. So this is going to get into all those cracks between the scales and just make her look a little bit more weathered and a little bit more dusty. We're then going to seal that all in with a matte clear coat. Now, I got this from Home Depot here in LA. We don't actually have this can of matte sealer from Rust-Oleum back home. We only have the the gloss and the satin, so it's going to be interesting using this stuff for the first time. Now I do want her to have some drool coming out of her mouth and around her teeth, and for that we're going to be using a clear silicone. So this is good, it's nice and thick, it's going to give me time to work with it, it's going to be easy to make it look like it's dripping out of her mouth. Once that stage is done, we're then going to move on to coloring and detailing those fresh open wounds on the side of her, and for that we're going to be using a clear nail polish, as you see right here. I'm going to be mixing it in with some red acrylic paint and just a little bit of black shoe polish to make the blood look a bit more realistic and a bit more fresh. Now I'm going to let her sit overnight, and then it's time for the big reveal. Now I know what you guys are thinking, Chris, where's the custom base for this girl? Well, today we're gonna do something different, guys. Instead of making the base, we're gonna go to the base. This is a first for Custom Collectables, guys. I am really excited about this. It's gonna be something amazing. As my good friend John Flickinger, aka the Flick Pick, always says, it's gonna get magical, it's gonna get mystical. Don't get scared now. My God, she's escaped. Young lady, you are in so much trouble. Don't you ever run away on me like that again. You are grounded. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed that reveal. It was something a little bit different. We're up here at the old LA Zoo in Griffith Park, so I thought this would be the perfect setting for an escape artist like this girl right here. As always, this lovely lady is for sale on my Etsy store. I will leave the link in the video description down below. Guys, wherever you are in the world, have yourselves a cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy, be merry, be silly. And until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best. My God, she's escaped.